All right, so we're back with another video, and this video is about my mom, my relationship with my mom. Tomorrow is Mother's Day. I was talking with Patty about my mom, and I had, remember a lot of childhood growing up with my mother as a child and also as an adult. Ooh. I'm not here to put her down or anything like that, but I just thought that I would share with you. Okay. And our crazy rocky relationship.
You said I'm next.
How are you next? You grew up good. Don't even. You grew up very good.
You said I'm next. She like, woo.
That's because I know nothing happened. Please. But anyways, so my mom was she was very attractive. Ooh. Especially in her younger days.
Wow. Ooh, do you have pictures of her?
Yes.
Can we see some?
Throw them up on the screen.
I don't have a lot for where she was younger, but I do have a few. People always tell me that I look like her.
Oh,
I don't see it. I
kind of see it.
I saw it too.
Really?
Yeah. We're not going to say you're twins or anything that. But yeah, you got green eyes like your mom.
Yeah.
You got a similar hair color to
her
your
nose.
Mom. Similar nose. Similar eyes.
No.
Similar face. Similar lips. Similar body. Similar hips.
Okay, the body, absolutely not. My mom was very top heavy and small at the bottom. I'm complete opposite. I'm big at the bottom. And our noses are completely different. And I will show you. My mom has a very sharp.
You do too. Not as sharp.
No, my mom had a very sharp nose.
That's like Chuck, your brother's nose, right?
No, my brother has my dad's nose. I have kind of my dad's nose.
Alex has a sharp nose.
Alex has a sharp nose.
I love his nose.
Yes, he has a sharp nose.
Ooh.
Yep.
Everybody on my mother's side had the sharp noses. Her dad, her mom, all my uncles, my aunt.
Oh, did you get the nose from your grandma?
Possibly.
Your nose
I feel
is
my nose does look like my dad's nose.
Your dad has a sharp nose?
He does not.
Just mine's maybe sharper.
I was going to say Hispanics aren't known for having a sharp nose. No. I think we're kind of known for having rounder noses.
Yep.
Let me see.
Pull out you have a picture of your ex. I just seen it when he was younger. Let us see that one too.
I feel like I have my dad's nose just slightly sharper.
That's what I'm saying. So did you get the sharpness from your mom, like her mom's mom?
Possibly.
Ooh.
But yeah, I think I have my dad's nose.
I want to see that.
So this one you can barely see. You did not get. I don't think you got his nose.
I think I do.
Turn around and look.
Just obviously.
No.
Just his is not as sharp.
No, you don't have your dad's nose. Your nose
You've
is
got
sharp.
the Sutherland nose.
Oh my God! You got your grandma's nose.
I think it's a mixture though.
It's a mixture, but you got your grandma's nose. It's sharp. Your nose is.
I know, but if you look at the shape of hers and the shape of mine, it looks different.
Oh no, you're obviously yours is what mixed. I think it's mixed between your dad's genetics and your mom's genetics. Yeah, because your dad has more of a rounder nose.
Yes.
But you do look like your dad. He's like a way tanner, more Hispanic version of you.
Well.
You got a good mixture.
Yes, he does.
So growing up, my mom, when I was in elementary school, would leave me a lot with my aunt. And she would send me to school because my mom would go to different states with other people. And
she would
leave me behind. And she would take my brother and sister.
Why would she leave you behind?
I had school.
And your brother and sister didn't?
At that time, no.
Because they were younger?
Yeah. And so I always felt some type of way about that. And I hated going to school because I felt, I don't know, I think my mom leaving me affected me. I did not want to go to school. I wanted to stay with my aunt or my grandmother. I felt protected. I felt sheltered. It was just a safe place. And when I went to school, it didn't feel safe. I don't know why. But I
Better
hated
take your
it.
butt to school. Nobody likes going to school, but you gotta go.
And I skipped a lot, even when I was a little kid. I remember being in like first grade and not wanting to go. And the school was across from where my aunt lived at. So I would like hide outside. And then when everybody would go inside, I would run back to my aunt's house across the street.
Really?
Yes. And she would get so upset with me. Like, you gotta go to school. You can't do this. And I would cry, and I hated it.
School is like a 9 to 5 for kids,
Yeah.
so you don't get paid.
Yeah. Also, when I lived with my mom and going to school, my dad would walk me to the bus stop. I don't have very many memories of my dad, so I can't tell you too much about him.
What did he like? Move somewhere else?
Okay, so he was
Oh.
To who?
to my mom. Yeah. He would like
Ruthless
yeah.
towards your mom.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Not all the time, but I've seen a couple of times. Not very often. It didn't happen very often. I think I've seen it maybe twice. We were little and we were in the living room and she accused him of cheating.
Oh.
And
That'll
she got
do it.
mad and said something, and he picked up a baby bottle that was full of milk and at her and hit her in the mouth, and she lost her teeth.
Whoa.
And that's why you always like saw her with a plate. There were like 2 teeth, but it was like a plate that she would take in and out. That was crazy times then. But she went through a lot with my dad. He was always like cheating and stuff and drinking. He had a drinking problem. And
What is
always
up with men cheating, bro?
always going to the streets, messing with these.
304s.
And I seen my mom fight so many women.
Yeah.
My mom was a fighter. She fought she fought so and like they would be on the ground rolling. Like it was wild.
Alex.
Sorry.
Stop, Alex! Okay, so my grandmother would spoil me like really, really bad. And my mom did not like that because I had a brother and sister and my grandma didn't give them the same treatment as me. And my mom resented that. And I think, you know, my mom would get upset with me if I would say anything about my grandma, like, oh, at least my grandma loves me.
Yeah.
Ooh, at grandma's
And
house,
I was
yup.
sitting in a chair, not in a chair, I was sitting in the back seat of the car, and my mom was in the front seat, and my aunt was driving. And I said that, and she turned around, and she so hard in my face
Oh, snap.
that my aunt had to pull over and like get at her. She basically like cussed her out. Like,
Yeah.
don't you ever, you know, hit her like that
Yeah.
again. You know, she didn't do anything. I was being like a little bit of a smart.
So you would say you deserved it.
No, not the
Oh.
way that she hit me. Hell no.
Oh, dang.
No,
So she hit
like,
you like that.
yes,
Damn.
hard. She would do that a lot. She also left me and my brother and sister with the babysitter. I talked about the babysitter, about the with the babysitter. And that is where it mostly started with almost hating my mom. Like I resented her so bad. I don't know.
So you got mad, you hated your mom for way too hard, right?
Yes. But leaving me with the babysitter is where it like really started.
So you didn't like the babysitter.
No, the babysitter was very, very
Yeah, I
like.
remember that.
Remember what I told you
Yeah.
about
She
her
was
knocking?
ruthless.
She was
Yeah.
horrible.
No, she was like insanely crazy.
She was like
Yeah.
mommy dearest.
Yeah, she would. It would. Oh God, I can't ever get those memories out of my head. The way that my brother was little and he couldn't chew the sausage, or he was full or something, and she was making him eat it, and his mouth was full, and he started gagging because he couldn't like swallow. He was just that full.
Yeah.
And I remember her him so hard and him falling out of the chair and him falling.
Yeah.
And me feeling so sorry for him and me not being able to do nothing to help him. I hated her for that. I hated her for that because she didn't see the
Let's
that
go
I
stomp her
saw.
out. You remember that hot dog?
And also, so the babysitter's husband was very, very inappropriate when I was so little. I was probably maybe like 5, 6 is when
Jesus.
it started. When it started, I
5,
remember.
6?
Yeah, I remember him
Kids are crazy.
walking in,
Jesus.
and I would be sitting on the sofa because my mom just had my brother, and so we was down there with her. We lived upstairs from the babysitter at the time, and I remember him walking in. I was alone in the living room watching cartoons, and he came in and he was drunk. Like, he stayed drunk. And he walked in and he stopped and he started, and he was being inappropriate. He literally was doing stuff in front of me that I can't even talk about with you guys because of, it's too sensitive. And I had to sit and see that. And I remember crying, and the babysitter walked in and saw him doing it. She jumped on him, was like, "Get out of here." But then she came to me and spanked me because I was there.
Hey, yo, what?
Yeah, I would get spankings from the babysitter all the time because she said
all
I
she
was
did?
watching. Yes, yes, yes.
That's weird, bro.
Yeah. So that was big.
Traumatic.
That was traumatic because he did that all the way up until we was like teenagers.
Whoa.
Even adults, he continued. Because I remember...
What was you still getting babysitted for as an adult, Mom?
No, not a baby... No.
What's to explain it?
Okay, so after we grew up, there was good times there. I'm not saying everything was bad because she bought us all kinds of stuff. And she took care of us. She fed us, clothed us, sent us to school. So the didn't make us like hate her so bad that we never wanted to see the babysitter again. We ended up going back as adults because there was good times. I never confronted him about what he did. I never confronted her about what she did. I just put it off. I didn't want to bring that up. I felt like we was in a good place because we were adults. We could handle ourselves then. But he still would like do stuff and say stuff, and he would laugh, and his wife, the babysitter, would like, go in the other room, stop. As adults, it's pretty much the same thing she did when we were children, but she, it was more lighthearted and funny.
It was?
For them. Not me,
What the fuck?
But yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
But
it sounds really crazy.
I forgave the babysitter and him.
You did?
Yeah. I didn't.
I would.
I don't know. I put it in the past. I didn't want to bring it up. I just left it there.
But you fully forgive them? You could say you
I
forgive
meant
them?
they're not here no longer.
That's okay. They were still bad. Not just because someone passes
Yeah.
away doesn't mean like,
Yeah.
come, let's forget what you did. No,
Yeah.
you're a bad person. That
Yeah.
doesn't take that away from you.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm asking you. Like, if you fully forgive them, that's okay. That's your choice. But I'm asking you, do you fully forgive them?
I don't know. I haven't really thought
Not
about
about
it.
it. Mm-hmm.
I really haven't.
No, I'm pretty sure it's pretty common for people like to not want to like think about bad stuff.
Yeah.
Who wants to think about bad
We're not
things?
saying to wish good or bad on them. We're just saying, like, would you forgive them?
I think so.
If they said, hey,
I
I'm
think so.
sorry, would you forgive them?
Yeah.
You would?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I forgive easily. Maybe that's another problem, another bad thing about me, that I forgive easy.
I wouldn't say it's a bad thing.
I just wanted to put it behind me and not think about it. I didn't want to think about it, I just didn't want to. But all that and stuff back then is a main reason why I didn't get along with my mom. Is because she kept leaving me and my brother and sister, and we were like being,
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's a reasonable explanation.
You didn't tell
as
your
to
mom
why.
about it?
We would tell my mom about the babysitter us. I don't think we ever told her about the other inappropriate stuff. I don't know.
Why
I
not?
I felt ashamed. I felt embarrassed.
Really? I was
God,
like, hey,
yes.
yo, bro, this dude being weird, man. I can't go back there.
No.
Mr.
For
Jackson.
No, I felt it. I felt ashamed.
Yeah.
Like I had done something wrong because the babysitter kept spanking me for it.
And you
So
was
you
kind of
get that in your head.
I was like, Mom, it's time to spank the babysitter because that's weird.
yeah, it's like I had done something wrong.
Yeah.
So I didn't tell my mom.
Yeah, I mean, it's because you were young and she was kind of
Yes.
like making it. You
Wait.
only get spanked unless you do something bad. You know what I'm saying?
Right, that's what we were
So,
taught, and
yeah.
I felt like I
Was doing something wrong.
was doing something wrong, so I felt ashamed.
I mean, shit. I remember one time this dad came to try to fight me and my friends when we were young. And he tried to come fight us because something happened with his kid and then another one of my friends. But he literally came to try to fight us. He was like, which one was it? Damn. He's like, all right. And he was trying to fight us. And then
Where was I?
we was just in a neighborhood and then we grabbed like a stick and we're like, come on. He's like, he started cussing us out and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And then they ended up leaving. And then we went to my neighborhood and I was with my dad and I'm like, there he is. And then I told my dad what happened. I'm like, he tried to fight us. And then my dad grabbed the and he went over to him.
Like, what's up?
And then he was like, oh, is this true what my son's saying that you did? And then he was like, what? No, that never happened. What are you talking about? He's like, he's saying it happened. Like, just don't do it again. And he's like, no, that never even happened. And then, they went their separate ways. I'm like, this dude just lied.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just straight up, he's like, I never even seen him before.
Yeah. It's because it's meant for people to not take kids seriously. That's what I be telling
Yeah.
y'all. If my kid tells me something, I'm gonna believe him at first, and I'm gonna do what Alex's dad did. I'm gonna go be like, my kid's saying this shit, bruh. Is that shit true or what? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
People be like dismissing kids too quickly.
That's because
But I'm
sometimes
quick
kids
to
have
think,
exaggerated.
They
Kids do exaggerate.
Yeah.
Kids can be manipulated very easily to lie.
So
So
then-
I always like to ask the adult
Uh-huh.
before I go after them, like, hey, did this happen? And, if
Yeah,
there's
I-
other witnesses saying, yes, it did, then that's different.
Yeah, I didn't want nothing to go down. That's why I
Yeah.
didn't be like, yeah, you're lying. I didn't even say
Yeah.
nothing. I just watched and I'm like, this dude's
Yeah,
lying.
and I feel like it also depends on like, does the kid usually exaggerate? Like, oh, okay, then you kind of know how to go. But if your kid usually doesn't do that, if your kid doesn't usually lie to you about things like that, you see what I'm saying? Like, you gotta take that shit. Like,
Yeah.
why is my kid telling me this? Like, she don't really say things like that.
Yeah.
You gotta like, what? What? That's crazy though. I was like, what you say? Let's go find out if what you're saying is true.
Yeah.
That dude denied everything. I didn't say nothing. I didn't want to like make something go down. or anything.
Yeah.
But the other dude was like, nope. I have no idea who that kid is.
But did you tell your dad like, okay,
Yeah,
like
when we
don't
walked
go
away,
back, but he lied.
Yeah, I was like, oh, he lied. Like,
He lied, yeah.
I was like, he lied, but yeah.
Yeah, but like, it's no biggie.
Yeah, it's not worth. But I didn't know you was gonna do all that. But
If I knew you was gonna do all that, I wouldn't have told you nothing.
exactly. I was just letting you know, like, I don't know if you know him, but like he tried to fight us.
Alexander, I didn't even know you was gonna do all
He was like,
that.
Let's go find out.
I'll be like,
Yeah, I was like, I'm like, bro, he ain't touch us like he wanted to, but he didn't.
like you didn't do it. Oh damn! You reminded me of like, Mr. Jackson.
For real.
I'm gonna go tell
I
my
didn't
daddy.
even know who his kid was either. His kid
Yeah.
was like, oh, it's that. Maybe my friend had an altercation with him or something, but yeah. Well, Mom, how do you think your childhood shaped your parenthood?
Well,
Like how did it affect it? Did it change anything? Did it make you act a certain way? Something like that?
Oh wow, that's a good question.
I really don't know.
Look, the reality of it is that sometimes your kids, if you were a good mother, like your kids may be like, oh, my mom was too harsh. Or like, oh, this and that.
Sometimes
But
I do feel like I was too hard.
At the end of the day, you
Because
weren't
I
there.
was a more disciplinarian than Dad. Dad let that shit go. I did not.
I hate to break it to you, but we were not scared of you. We were scared of Dad. So whatever Dad did, he was more scary.
Oh,
You was not. We didn't even take you serious. Yeah, you wasn't.
that's messed
So,
up.
I mean, no, it's not like you were any overly harsh or anything
No, you
like
also
that.
gotta keep in mind that they're men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're males. They're males. Obviously, they're gonna be more scared of their dad.
We could take the harsher. Like we just did it. Like you cussed a lot.
That's one thing my mom did, and I hate that I cuss so much, but I grew up like that.
Yeah,
and I feel like I can't change now because that's how I grew up. But I have been trying to get better.
Yeah. So I mean, like
I've tried
said,
to get better. I
you
think I'm
weren't-
doing.
You didn't like affect us.
Yeah, I was
But
gonna
like
say,
we weren't like scared of it. It didn't like do anything trying to us or anything like that.
I think I cussed more as I got older.
Maybe.
Yeah.
You would cuss, but we wouldn't like I said, we wouldn't take it that serious. But you know, other than that, yeah, like we didn't take it that serious.
we didn't. Like we knew you.
Yeah.
That's because I was like tough, I think. I know my mom loved us. I know she loved us a lot.
Uh-huh.
She was always, like trying to teach us stuff and to be kind to people. And I think that I try to like put that on my kids also, to be kind to like kids in school and to strangers. Always say thank you, be grateful, because we grew up really, really poor because my dad was never around. So my mom was just, a single mom, and my dad never gave my mom anything. Anything. I hope I was a good mom to y'all. I mean, yeah, I was tough, but I think,
Keep saying you was tough. You was not tough.
okay.
Like I said, you cussed. I mean, I don't necessarily think that was tough.
Did you guys get punished?
No, not really.
But yeah, there were some wonderful memories, and I do, love my mom, and I wish she was here because I would always call her and tell her about my problems, and she would always talk to me about it. And
Yeah.
when I need her, she's not here now because I have so many problems, so many things that I want to talk to her about. We would watch Big Brother together, and we would always call each other and talk about Big Brother and who our favorite was, and
Okay,
stuff
so you
like
guys
that.
were close.
We were close.
Oh,
Like
sister,
that.
She knew you loved her.
Yeah.
If you guys were that close, she knew you loved her.
I feel like the good times outweigh the bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think at that moment of someone's passing, they're not gonna be like, oh, they don't love me, this and that. No, I think
Yeah.
Alex is right. She just knew she was very sick. You were going out of state.
Yeah.
You probably just thought this might be the last time I see my daughter alive. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you guys sound to like, it sounds like you guys were close.
We were, as I grew older, we got really close, but I do miss her, and, I wish she could hear me and see me and understand.
Maybe she does.
This is the end of the video. It was sad, I know, but it's just, some of my memories. But don't forget to like and share, subscribe. Don't forget the 3,000 likes on the other video. Give this video a thumbs up, lots of likes. And you're going to see Patty drive me when she gets back from Cali.
Bro.
You're
That's
going
gonna
to
be
see her
crazy.
drive, and I'm going to be so scared.
That's gonna be crazy.
It's going to be crazy.
Yes.
So we'll see you on the next video. I love you
Peace.
guys. Bye.
When's Haley and Alex uploading? Before you ask, coming soon.